in some ways, the third place game also highlights the team who doesn't win the finals more as well as second place. You know, I don't know. Why not play it out? It distributes money. I don't know. Every other sport typically, well, not always, but does it. Olympics, obviously, they do.
The World Cup, they do it. Football.
Yeah, World Cup, Olympic hockey, any Olympic team sport, they do it. But yeah, it's interesting. I think there's still some reasons to be motivated in the game. Obviously, like they say, it's a grudge match from an earlier game in the event. These two teams played each other early and G2 won. And on top of that, like I said, there is a higher prize pool on the line.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much it is. We probably should have looked that up. But still, yeah, it's probably around the region of about 10K extra, I would imagine, something like that. So it's definitely worth it. Like for a day in the office, make an extra few Gs, that's not too bad at all. But at the same time, like I think this is a good time for Astralis to experiment with maybe the idea that Dupree can have a go with the AWP and a proper stage facilities. It's sure you can do it online, but the main reason you practice online is you're not playing to win. In that sense, you're playing to develop and kind of learn things. It's not really about winning the practice games. So I'd say this is a great time just to give that a go and see if it has any legs to it. But here we go. Sounds like we're ready to get into it. Maybe I had the galloping, but maybe that was a small warm-up. It looks like the first map is about to begin. It is Nuke. I think it's a good map to kick things off. G2 very well versed in this. Also on the T side here, they've got 4 sets of armor. Shoxy with the smoke, which has already been deployed. That looks like it's going towards main entrance potentially from the roof, and it'll be Zipex to be challenged first at the ramp area. Can't find anything just yet. It's bodied to strike first, but Device certainly can. Nice work with the USP. 3 headshots, and that should be the round. It's Shoxy who was deploying utility at the very start. That was their classic strategy map. That's the smoke they were doing. Back in the day, they smoke towards heaven, they rush ramp, they try and get beneath the ladder, and they take down the player. Do you remember that tactic?
Yeah, absolutely. The question is, did they actually try to go to Turnpike, or did, when they get confronted, immediately jump to the ramp? Was the ramp the ploy the whole time, or was it the reaction? Either way, it doesn't. It's highly possible because they got shut down. Device just absolutely obliterates them. 4 kills for him, 1 for Zipex.
Yeah, so if anyone's not familiar with that strategy, smoke heaven, then you're rushing ramp, you get the 1 trade there, hopefully, and then you all rush up the heaven, and then you smoke to cover you. That's a strategy they used to run back in the day. But in terms of the speculation, in terms of the scope potential, it's Device who's got the scout this round. Finds 2 kills, one of which is a headshot. It wasn't the force spy, just to note as well, from G2. At least I'm not certain of that. You can see Shoxy's got Glock, no armor. So are they buying up this round with Galil's armor, potentially?
They didn't get a plant in either round, but they
will be. They'll be buying this round. I wish I could see. This is actually quite important.
So Device killing it so far. 2 headshots on the scout. 4 kills early, 6 kills, 2 rounds. Good start.
But they would have felt that. They would have felt there's no armor there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was no upgraded pistols. So the idea behind this is...
And it was a run and gun tactic.
So the meta of CSGO is second round, you have an abundance of SMGs, like you can see there. So yes, the Galils and the AKs come out. This is like a cool idea, right? They've got AKs, Galils, and head armor, and smokes, with no bomb going down. That's like, they've arguably got more firepower here. So this is definitely a viable strategy, and they're going towards outside. They're not even going to use the smokes. They want them to see the crossing over and take these duels, but it's going to be Apex, dinked first, I believe, by the UMP.
And that nade, a good read by Kiabi. He spotted them early and didn't take the fight. He positioned accordingly to let rotations come in, so good call. Dupree instead backs off, smoke down at Enix. He'll try and spray through. It's an interesting tactic, and more teams perhaps should be looking at in the future.
Na'Vi do this a few times, and G2. They're the only 2 teams I think are doing it right now. And it does make a lot of sense. I definitely think this is like game-changing in some aspects. Instead of just going pistols and maybe the CZ not as effective at long range on certain maps in terms of like running gun potential, it's definitely beneficial on the CT side, I think. But this is a really cool idea. We'll go towards heaven for now. MBK, there it is. He gets the opening kill, takes down Glaive, but he'll be fighting back, but not for long. It's going to be the man advantage for G2 at this point. It's round number 3. This is a strange buy, just to reiterate, and it will be working out for them for now.
Ice down the vents. We'll rotate to make sure that with the outside possession, they don't actually get down secret and get free reign of the lower site. The man advantage, though, MBK has slowed things down, as with the rest of his team, and he'll clear heaven as Dupree gets back in, checks it, doesn't see. Now, what does that favor for timing? Because he's unsure of exactly where they're going to be coming from. The only position he knows is absolutely clear is lobby. So he'll try and use Hut. Interesting if we had lag from his side, or I'm not sure what happened, because Dupree just froze up and got taken down after a few shots. As the bomb goes down, the early buy for G2 certainly looks like it could pay off. Zipex upgrades to an M4, he'll back away, and that Device is likely to do the same.
Yeah, this is almost impossible considering they've got no kits there. I like this surprise buy, just because the way the game plays right now, with the CTs focusing on UMPs and MP9s and maybe even MP7s, Scouts, for example, as well. and then you bring out a couple of AKs and Galils. Like it's a really strong buy, and the fact you have smokes as well, it's really cool, I think. So there we go. G2 will indeed be winning the round. Deve might get a couple of frags there. Only one. Could have got a little bit more out of that. It's going to be Zipex to try and survive. He's all the way in spawn on the T side. G2 post their first round on the board there. Still see the high fives coming out. This game does mean something. Third place and the difference between quite a large chunk of change. So Astralis saving 1-4. They'll probably force into this themselves. Background tactical minds behind the team. Shotguns coming out. No auto shotgun this time. We did have a bit of fun of that yesterday. I think it was Apex, wasn't it, that was using the auto shotgun on the upper bomb side.
Yep, that's correct. Was using the auto, he was using the alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, auto. Sorry, I was thinking sawed off and not. Kiarbi. Made out. Lands. Does a great amount of damage. Glaive doesn't spot them in the small gap that did exist. But Device down below. Fortunately, the shotgun, the swag 7 can't shut them down. Dupree drops into the vents. Good damage again. Nades both ways. He gets around the corner. Does no damage to him, therefore. Good old nades and Counter-Strikes. Drops into the site. They're on both sides. In the site already. He's not aware because Apex, even though he took down Zipex, didn't get the information in time to Dupree. And therefore, he snapped back to find that kill as well. Kirby on the retake. Good start to take down Apex, but already he's got to back away, losing his teammate beside him. The site is gone. 2-2.
Pretty standard round there from G2. Smokes outside, get everyone down towards Secret, one holding the lobby. And just to talk about the grenades as well, there's definitely a conversation about CSGO and the fact that grenades, it can be this one pixel protecting you. Like, Dupree technically was right next to that grenade, but because he's like just behind the corner, he's absolutely fine. Obviously, in 1.6, grenades used to penetrate all walls, so it wouldn't do as much damage, but it would penetrate, so you couldn't just do that. It came into Source Engine, obviously, that's where these grenades first came from. And I kind of agree. I feel like the HE grenades can be kind of useless at times just because of that simple fact. They're not really worth buying in certain maps because you decide, well, there's so many different areas to hide behind, and maybe that's an idea. They do less damage, but they do penetrate walls, and it means you can't have little plays like that. But still, what G2 have a fast play towards lower.
It's one of those debates too. Like, I don't know. I'm not a physicist, but like, if you want to talk about pseudo-realism, I'm sure there are some objects in real life that would hold off the shrapnel of a nade, because it's pretty relatively small explosion. That's not obviously how a nade works.
If you were in a small event
game,
like that,
yeah, exactly.
Even the sound of the grenade and the shockwave coming through it, like,
no, 100%.
I probably kill you a little.
I think that it's. I guess again, I'm not a physicist. I don't know all the qualities. I think for a game it should just be balanced, and then, I agree with what you're saying then, because then you don't have that unfair advantage. Because not even a vent wall as they walk into the upper site against pistols. It wouldn't allow such things as, say, one step on Inferno, which used to be a problem at the front of the site, or anything like that, so. Apex. Nice to cover off the upper heaven position as they rotate back in with the pistols. They've actually got a man advantage on the Astralis side, so they'll go for this. They don't have a kit, and they don't have armor on everyone. Kiarbi's the only one that does wear any at all, in fact, as MBK takes the head off Device. Now I imagine the round done, but they'll see what they can get away from the CTs, including Kiarbi getting an M4. Now they might go, actually. I take it back because he finds the opening kill. MBK behind the silos. The problem is no kits. They're down, I think. Ooh, this is going to be close. He may have that.
Why are we not on him? I guess it adds to the drama. I guess he's got it. It looks like he almost certainly has now.
Stayed with it. That's close.
Couple of seconds there, and it was low HP. MBK pulled out the Glock. He had to hit, I think, at least just one bullet would have done it. Couldn't find the aim, and there we have it. Kiarbi with the saved rifle does pull one back, and it's going to tie up the scoreline. A little bit of a disappointing round there for GT, considering they rushed towards Africa, got the opening frags. Maybe overextended a little bit. We didn't actually catch all the action, of course, because it's a difficult map to spectate on. You know, can he bring out the AWP? Another quiet game for him, 0-4. But first time he has the AWP in hands, we'll see whether he can get rolling here as we head into round number 6. Flashes outside. Device. Okay, so he is on the main orb. As we've speculated, maybe they're going to try some different things out, but they'll be keeping things very standard today, it seems. 6. First map of this third place decider, and it's going to be body to open things up. Kiarbi's pushing towards outside. Full trades for now, but Glaive can't hold on to the upper bomb side. Device smoked out a main entrance, gives up his position by shooting through the smoke. Shoxy on top of Silo, stops the rotation for Kiarbi. 3-on-2. That's a good frag though. Zipex, one of the best clutches in the game, had plenty of them this tournament, and it is to bring it down to a 2-on-2 situation.
Trying to play back toward lobby so that he can catch the cross from MBK. But MBK goes just as he looks away towards Squeaky, as you'd expect in Counter-Strike. Xyp9x is normally very good with his timing and pushing out from the ramp on flanks when they take upper. He got 1 kill for it, but unfortunately couldn't go further. It's all on a device and through the smoke. Unfortunately, he's no Stewie.
Might as well go for it. They're going to be eco regardless there, so give it a go. Now, well, actually, money's not awful, so you can see there's a couple of players on there, about 4 to 5k. There were 3, though, hovering around the $2,000 mark. So we can see the orb come out. Well, this is a bold strategy. So the players that had the cash, the 2 I mentioned, I think that'll be Devo with the orb, maybe Dupree. I'll have a look in a second. Yes, Device and Dupree. So they've gone all in across the board. Couple of CZs, Deagle. It's not too bad in terms of Device is glass cannon, sure, but that's not a massive factor on you because there's not any position you can get naded from at the start. It's very long range in terms of the initial duels, and Device will be flashed off. For anyone crossing outside, I believe he's fired a shot, so that might be the signal for them to go towards ramp or something.
Apex waits inside of Squeaky.
I think it's a good call for Device. Now they know he's out there. He needs to reposition. Go towards ramp, maybe even hold towards lower.
And he not Dupree on the AWP. That was not intended to be a rhyme, it just kind of naturally happened. But we did touch on that theory.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that it looks like they won't be changing things. I just thought it might be a nice idea to maybe give it a few rounds. Maybe it might develop. Like, Nuke's a very difficult AWP map, so maybe Dupree hasn't.
That's true. It could be map dependent. Again, our lovely SMG one-handed MAC-10.
Gangster style. This does look so weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. Especially when you swap to him and it's two-handed. It's like, where's the consistency? Dupree tries to find shots inside of the site, but instead it's MBK and Body that make it through with the AK-47s. And now, with Dupree down on the M4, there's really not much left in it except for Device on and off from Heaven. If he can even dare go for it from here. I don't know that I fancy chances of this position, especially on a retake when they already have the site. Someone surely would be looking that direction, or at least you'd expect them to. MBK will Molotov it off. That may be the end of the chances for Astralis on a retake. And he watches off toward Heaven. And as you can tell in the background, the Russian commentators talk a lot more than us.
Yeah, they always sound like they're trying to get a million words out. But
that's more like the Chinese.
Yeah,
they're nuts.
But, this looks like a round will just be saving that AWP. It was a force buy, sure, but you're not going to win. You've accepted that. You haven't got the kill. You haven't got the nades to go for the retake, but you saved 2 CZs of armor and the AWP. An AWP-like device. You're looking a little bit tired, but it will be certainly viable to try and win this round. Device just needs to go maybe in the hut, go for that first pick. Ramp's a very strong position as well. Heaven / Catwalk. Starting to fill up. We had that guy come for an autograph yesterday.
Which one's that?
Guy with the little man bun.
The little man bun?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I do remember one guy bowing before us.
That was a bit much, wasn't it? Like, when he grabbed you, he's shaking and like...
it was bizarre. But I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I wish... Well, I'm not going to go there. Smokes gap in it, but they still make it by. Gap only if you were on the ground. I don't think it would show from Heaven. It was underneath. Device that was already down there. Good find on the first one. Quick switch back over. Brings out the Safari Mesh for more. And he gets the second kill as well. Bomb flung forward. It's Kenny to try and respond with a fast flick toward Dupree.
Good read by Device. Can't just go outside in these sort of rounds. He's going to find his third kill. He's still got position on the bomb as well. It can't be picked up. 4 in total. That's what we want to see. The big play starting to arrive. And it's just Shoxy now in the 4 versus 1. Device has done it. Around, he saves the AWP, takes it to the next round, positions correctly, and now Shoxy getting peppered up with that CZ75. Glaive just trying to stay alive. We're on the clock down here. Knows he is losing firepower, and Device with the ace. Sonic's happy with that one, and rightly so. Didn't go towards outside, like I said, had to go towards like hut, ramp. This time the obstacle was lower, and it's perfect. They go a full outside strategy, and he's there on the steps, doesn't miss a beat. He said he's had a lack of confidence with the AWP this tournament, but certainly no troubles here. That was a huge round for Astralis to pick up.
Interestingly, with less pressure.
Exactly, right? That's why I tweeted out saying, like, well, now there's going to be less pressure on there, and they can probably play their full game. We can probably see some of the big names like Device have those sick rounds.
Well, that's the thing. I think Device is one player that still does succumb to pressure every now and then.
Yeah.
And it shows
happens, right?
in oh, absolutely, but it certainly showed yesterday as well. That's not bad from Dupree. Hi, Body. How you doing? Trick or treat. Smell my feet. It's Glaive that's inside of main entrance. He'll shut down Apex on the wraparound as well. He's in a rather hot box, though, because he's caught off in the corner with 2 Molotovs. Beside him, Dupree still, though, has backed off to find an angle above. Kenny drops down. Great round from him. He'll take MBK as well.
Get the money gone for G2. Aggressive work from Dupree. That's what we're going to be used to seeing in this sort of game, I think. It's quite jovial. They're not like up in arms and celebrating. It's more like, wow, I got away with that.
Yeah, that's true.
So those are the kind of plays we're going to see here today, I think. Like, just to reiterate for anyone who's just joined us, it is the 3rd or 4th place game, which sounds like a massive deal. And it is. Like, there is a lot of money on the line here. But in terms of the pressure on the players, like, they're not going to be as nervous as they usually are. So you're going to see them hitting a lot more shots and taking more risks, I guess. They'll be happy to like push the squeaky door. Like, you won't really see that too often in a usual game. And Dupree, that's a nice shot as well. Once again, he's starting to get in the zone now, trying to create a hole in the door for himself. Baits another player out. Apex goes down, gets the dink off in the process. But is it the full eco from G2? And Device won't go to find the shot, but his teammate certainly does. That's going to be the round in the bag. A lot of damage inflicted by these pistols, but no kills as of yet.
MBK. Ramp, quick check. Back to pistols for G2 as Astralis trying to extend their lead. G2, as always, though, hanging in there on the T side. In fact, having control after the early buy. But take it back. Dupree with 2 good rounds in a row. Young Kiarbi. Charbu.
Debatable again by the looks of things. Can't see the AWP on Kenny. Has he got a frag yet? I'm sure he has. It was just me following it. I can't check, but we'll find out if he flicks to his screen. He obviously got the nice little GUI there at the bottom. Device changes position now. This is what I like to see from him. When he's changing this in every single round, scaring them off. They go towards outside, but I think that smoke will be put out. That models will be put out a little bit shallow there, I'm afraid. He has got a slight gap there, Matt. Here we go.
If he sees the feet, ooh,
yeah,
that's close. Yeah, okay. Dupree hits the 1 shot, but I thought it was going to be Kirby shooting sooner. It doesn't matter. They get 1 down. That's the main objective, I suppose, in the situation. Best case scenario. Shock still waits it outside to see if any rotations will try and follow them down. Secret Device already there, as always, with the AWP at ramp this time. Not quite into the hallways, but still finding an angle as Zipix rotates down and gets inside a control room. Apex deep inside of the site that was hoping to create space. He goes down as well. Battle outside with Shocks. Kirby peeks again, and Shocks continues to try and find space. Really, at this point, it's fighting to stay alive. And a 2 versus 5.
Shocks struggling to find the shots here. It will be Kenny S. Yeah, 0 and 8. I thought he was. So he had to even post a frag. He has had an amazing tournament in the group stages, but seemed to have been dramatically missing that from the team since we got to the playoffs. He had a really rough game yesterday. He was getting, I think the stats from him versus Pasha was 11 kills to Pasha with the ADP of 1 for Kenny.
I think it was 10-1, but
10-1,
somewhere in that realm.
Yeah, but that is not a usual battle. That is not a storyline I don't think I've ever said before. Pasha, like, a decent AWP. Sure, he had an amazing tournament this time, but against Kenny S, considered one of the absolute world's best, to go 10-1 down.
Especially when you consider the movement of the two,
yeah.
right? You'd think it's fine for Pasha to have a good game, and Kenny not to, but you'd think head-to-head, even still, the movement of Kenny and the quickness of Kenny would beat Pasha in that regard. But Pasha just obliterated him yesterday.
Yeah, he really did.
And it's not often Kenny loses duels head-to-head with Oppers.
0-9, yeah, he doesn't really look too infused right now, and rightly so. It's difficult as a star player. Like we said, Device only cracking the pressure. If you're a big name like that, Kenny S, like, it's always a lot. You always know if you have a bad game, it starts getting inside your head, right? You're thinking, everyone's expecting me to carry this and like deliver this performance. And as soon as you go like 0-5, you're thinking, well, everyone's going to start looking at me. Everyone's going to start thinking that I've lost it. And then you go 0-9, and it's really difficult to get out of that rut. Like, you start just doing, you start changing things just to get that first kill on the board. You're just like, well, I won't do this. I won't go for this usual player would. I need to make sure I stay alive here and guarantee a frag by just waiting for a push or a mistake to be made. Like, it does get in your head. Like, all players will say they don't get affected by that, but trust me, like, for a star player, that can be a difficult thing to recover from.
Yep, trying to spray through the smoke and see if anyone working into radio or trophy, I suppose, if we want to update the name to the new map. Trophy cabinet. What would a nuclear power plant get a trophy for? Environmental cleanliness.
Employee of the month.
Employee of the month. That's a good one.
1 month without meltdown. Well done, everyone. We've done it.
Ooh, not bad, Glaive. Just sprays in, gets 2 on the way by.
Is that gap there? Smokes aren't perfect.
No, they're not at all. Dupree Good find on Apex. I think Astralis have picked up on that as well because they're positioning themselves in accordance. Good crossfire setup. They're basically playing the outside position that would see straight through it. As we're seeing Glaive, we've seen Dupree there a few times, we've seen Kjaerbye there a few times.
Yeah. They're more than happy to take that, Joe. They know they're safe. The T's can't fire back. You spot the feet. So, you can't really get a fully accurate shot, but at least you get a cue as to when they've crossed. So you spot a little booth there through the smoke, and you just go for a spray like that as to kind of try and work out their patterns, and 2 kills just like that. He's got the AK as well, so he's going to do a lot of damage when he starts hitting. And number 13, 8-4, G2. For a rough time here. Yes, I think 0 and 10.
Dupree takes body.
Really aggressive from Astralis. This is what I was looking for in this 3rd place game.
Well, you're getting it so far. Getting it from Astralis at least.
By Apex.
Device not going to miss those shots today. Astralis looking on form. You can say what you want about sticking around to play a 3rd place game, but once these guys are in the server, they're competitors. And it's kind of nice as well because you can almost treat this as you say, advanced practice in some ways, even though, yes, there's still a lot on the line. Astralis getting aggressive, trying a few different things. MBK, meanwhile, takes him back to Dupree. That's a bit... All right, Device. Calm down, mate. The nade goes in. Shox chases. Oh, I thought he'd get him on the way down. Doesn't. Shoots just high of the mark. I think he went just above Shox's head. And a bomb plant for G2 as they push him, Device, off the site. Gives them some space to do so. Glaive, 1 kill back on Kenny. It's traded back to the fact that MBK gets Kjaerbye. Device makes up for it, and it's down to a 1-on-1. Device versus MBK, and he knows he's been in the vent. He's been in the vent the whole time, and he still will be. Little jack in the box.
This is a horrible. He's got 1 bullet left in his AK. 1 bullet.
Oh,
he got it!
He got it too. Wow. That side-by-side view is hilarious, by the way.
Oh my god, he actually did it.
Look at the money for Astralis.
16k on 3 players. That's not bad. 1 bullet is AK. Oh, that he has the audacity to even go for that. Well, this has been a strange game. Lots of aggression from the CT side, which I love. I'm up for that. Throwing caution to the wind, perhaps. Round number 14. Kenny's only got 2 more rounds to actually post a kill here.
I think Device was having a good time last round, actually.
I think you're right.
Just, that's something you wouldn't see normally.
Yeah, that wasn't an unusual duel.
He was there for like 20 seconds, at least.
That was weird.
Kjaerbye takes down Apex. Xyp9x again will back off on the vents. I think we're still waiting for Kenny to get a kill, but confirm that with you in a second. MBK takes down Xyp9x.
Yeah, using the flames there as well. Though Xyp9x had that for days. 4 on 3. MBK down to just 5 points of health there. Still a relatively close game. It feels like Astralis are battering them. It's day 5. Like, it's not a bad T-half at all. It just feels like they're getting wrecked in terms of the aggression from Astralis. They managed to win a couple of tie clutches, though. Meaning we'll head towards outside by the looks of things with the bomb, of course. That's on the back of MBK. But he's only had it once, and it's a difficult map to really make the orb work, especially on the T side. I'll be pushing from intel towards the lobby. He'll get a lot of it. Cool that no one's there. And they'll probably reposition towards lower. This could be forced to rotation in the next few seconds. The CT vent hasn't been shot out. Listen out for it. We'll go down in the next like 5 seconds or so. 1, 2, 3. Okay. How good am I?
Yeah, not bad actually. That was pretty good. I'll give you that. Dupree, meanwhile, waiting for them to arrive at lower, has Device switching back over to the Safari mesh, and we'll watch the vents. Here they come. Dupree was right in looking that direction, finds the shot. Kjaerbye comes in as well. Kjaerbye takes down Kenny, but you're right, Kenny's on the board. 1 and 12 or something like that.
Yeah. That was never a round they're going to win. They took too long. 10 seconds to get a bomb down lower. They've already pushed the lobby as well. That's just never going to work out for you, I'm afraid. But Kenny did get off the mark. That's something for him. 17 kills for young Dever. 6 deaths, and he looks very confident.
He had 6 kills in the first 2 rounds, plus he had an ace in an additional round, so 11 kills over 3 rounds, and then...
Order sniper.
6 others, do the math.
Yeah, here we go.
He's really going for it, isn't he? Round 15, and he's going to go to the spot. The spot, that's what we're dubbing that, by the way. The back roof. Unfortunately, they'll go inside. Does he have an angle from there? He's still trying to spam in, but Kjaerbye jumps down instead with the AK. Unfortunately, we'll never get to see what an auto sniper's capable of on the secondary roof as Apex gets to the vent, but he's in a 1 versus 4. Bomb plant in round 15. Why not? Just get that extra money. Zipix arrives, 10-5 Astralis CT side.
A strange half, I have to say.
Device almost looks annoyed they didn't go outside for that.
Yeah. Oh, God, he looks like a broken man, doesn't he? Oof, rough. Well, we did see a different approach there from Astralis pushing that lobby.
Smiths is even like, come on, man, wake up.
Yeah, it's all good, dude. Like, there's like, don't beat yourself up at this game. Like, it's sure, like, there's a few G's in line, but
I don't think he will. He doesn't look like he's like. Normally, you see Kenny looking like almost desperate when he's playing badly in an important game. He looks like he's shaking and very emotional. Here, he just looks dismissive.
The greatest memory I have of that is the grand final of Cologne 2015.
I knew you were going to mention that, yep.
On Cologne, on Cobblestone. And, like, he just couldn't AWP on Cobble at all.
I think he was in tears after that game.
Yeah, he was. Like, he knew like, he was one of the main reasons they lost a very close game, and he just didn't perform at all.
He made up for it in Cluj, the
yeah, definitely.
major immediately after.
Pretty nuts, that one.
That was just after the envious roster changes as well, so they went into Cologne hoping to take victory. Pistol round number 2, map number 1, best of 3. Apex to the vents will drop down early so as to defend the smoke to be. In fact, he's just going to go similar to Device and stay on the ladder and hope to knife someone. This is also a tactic you don't see. I almost want someone to run this way.
It is quite interesting. I like that approach. 10-5. Astralis win this. Potentially going to be at 13. Ramp to defend with the P250 towards outside. Game leaders usually the ones with the utilities, got a smoke and a flashbang to work with. P2000 at range, still very deadly indeed.
Apex gets out of the vent, decides he's best to use the gun as they wrap in from main as well. He got tagged through the vent, but still found 2 incredible kills. Lottie gets found immediately after taking down Device. It's Zipix with the kill, but he's left in a 1 versus 3, and Shocks will win it for G2. Now we've got a game.
We have indeed. We have got a game. Nice work by Apex there. Tagged up, but still finding 3 kills. Impressive. Not much of a tactical approach there from Astralis towards outside, pushing the main entrance and getting tapped down 1 by 1 by Apex. So that's definitely a lifeline for the French side. I'm assuming we see the force buy from Astralis in the second round. Might go for the same approach as G2 did in the first half. That was quite cool, but they have force bought. And an Org's come out. Whose Org is this? Gonna be Shoxies. That's the first time this tournament we've seen it.
It's true. It's normally
Suggests where we're at with this game.
Yeah, I think we've hit that level.
We've had the Order Sniper, now we've got the Org.
All right, Shocks. Makes it somewhat viable at outside,
like
actually. Okay. Catches Device through the box as well. It does look a bit like COD, but it's
like
this is a position that could work.
Yeah, with this map, like it does kind of make sense. You've got like the little dot crosshair there.
You can cover outside and you could rotate upper for the retake. Instead of when you see an op get to heaven and look useless because he's smoked off.
On nuke,
I'm actually thinking now.
Yeah, that air conditioning is very strong. You get a bit of zoom in. You can maybe see through the gap in the smoke a little bit easier. That's not a bad idea. Definitely the time to experiment those sort of approaches. It's a weapon like that's certainly like viable, but it's a little bit more expensive. But it is good. I think if they buffed it maybe by maybe
How?
10%.
How would you buff it? Because it has first bullet accuracy over range on every other rifle.
I'm trying to think.
Which is the point of having the mini scope as well.
Yeah, but no, why is it never bought? Like, it is a good gun. Like, I'm just trying to think of there any way.
I think it's just people are so good with aim at the other rifles that they compensate for the difference, and therefore it's not worth the investment. That's my theory. Because you're right, on paper it looks like a better gun. It's just expensive.
I guess if you made off the hip fire a little bit more accurate, that is difficult to control. It's when you're scoped in, it's easy to get the nice one-taps. You made that a little bit easier. Maybe there's something there. Just around we could talk over. I'm going to be kind of analyzing things like that a little bit deeper today, considering we're seeing some interesting approaches, some avant-garde strategies, and that was certainly one of them. So that was the full eco. Nothing really to report there. Clean sweep by G2. They've got themselves back in this game. It's 10-5.5. It's going to be 10-8. AK's coming out for the Astralis side, no AWP. Bit of a slight bonus situation. That AWP's still going to be running out. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind watching Shocks to see if against guns it has the same potency. Apex slows down the squeaky door approach, even though there's a smoke down. His Molotov and a nade inside of it would do any damage to anyone getting close. Let's see if he plays the ladder again with the knife. But he gets closer on a UMP. Shocks is still outside. And in the squeaky door, they'll approach. Body hears them, swings around, tries to get a better angle, goes back in because he knew they'd be coming from the door as well. Punches Xyp9x in the face with a bullet, but Xyp9x gets the kill in the end as Kenny drops down to the floor. Good find, takes down the bomb, swings out to find Dupree, spots his gun barrel, but he's got tunnel vision on Dupree. Thankfully, he's got Shox to watch behind him. Good read, perhaps, and Kenny makes good work with the CZ.
Does indeed. Starting to get into the game now. It's not too late, as after winning the first 4 rounds, they've brought the score to 10-9, so they can definitely still win this one. Here's the replay of the famous work from MBS against the Eco. This has been one thing that's been a little bit jarring, I guess, seeing the replays a couple of rounds after.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
It's almost like newspaper.
Yeah.
Everything in the newspaper happened yesterday, so you've already read it online.
The Org's still running strong. It's going to be a partial buy here from Astralis now with maximum loss bonus coming to the next round. $2,900 per player. We need to get 34 into the next, and Shoxy might have a chance to show us what he's made of with the Org once again. It's going to be Kenny to post first, and Shoxy just about finds the aim there. A few more taps than required, but still got it done. And it's going to be a clean sweep from G2 to find 10-10 on the CT side. They have looked much better in this second half, of course, after winning the pistol, thanks to Apex. 1 kill from Dupree, but that should be all he gets here. Closes the door. Much you can do with this, just hoping for some CT mistakes potentially. There's a little hole there for bodies to spot through.
Shadow daggers. Remember when they were all the rage?
Yeah, but they have a bug on them, so your crosshair gets jolted up still, I think.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it does. They never fixed it, as far as I know.
Silly Valve. Body spots. The little booties.
Little booties, tiny mittens.
Ugly mug.
Oh. It is cold in Russia. There we have him. 10-10. Lots of money starting to swell with G2 here. No AWP on the T side, but I'm more than happy just to roll with the AK-47s. The AWPs for Kenny S. This is a side of the map he can actually have some serious impact with the AWP. Didn't get to see much of that in the first half, of course. And will we see the same sort of aggression? I love this from Shox. This position, I swear, should be used more.
One. I think Kirby spotted him as well, though. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. Tries to get some shots in. Looks, so you can see up above the smoke. He's called it, but he was already committed to backing off because he thought he was vulnerable up there. That's where, by the way, Device tried to go with the auto sniper, if you didn't see.
Yes.
Which would have been cool as well. But
I thought that was going to be a really important position when we saw this version of the map come out. It hasn't really been used, apart from the last month or so.
Yeah, well, see above the smokes. You can see a better line of sight toward Twinkie. You've got the AC to cover you. Good shot. Kenny takes down Device finally on an AWP.
That's better.
Kenny's back to normal form. But I'm liking this AUG outside.
It's not bad.
Do you remember the game Firearms?
Yes.
AUG was insane in that game.
I don't think Firearms.
It's kind of like...
The Unreal Tournament engine? Is that what it was?
No, it was on Source. Well, it was on Steam. It was through the Half-Life engine. I don't know if it ever actually made it to Source. But it was similar to...
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
Team Fortress. Not Team Fortress, excuse me. Team Fortress Classic is still pretty epic, too. Team Fortress 2 is awesome. Better than Overwatch. What's the other game I'm thinking of? Day of Defeat. It was similar to Day of Defeat. In a way, it was like a World War II style game. Okay. And you know what other gun was absolutely amazing in that game that I used every time? No. Bison, because the kickback, if you aimed at the chest and just held it down, it would go straight through their head every time. And you get instant headshot. Like,
it's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
I don't think Shox has died since he picked up that AWP, so that's working out for him. First time it's been used all tournament. Probably in the last few tournaments. The Creek sometimes comes out, but another eco now for Astralis. G2 take the lead, 11-10. They go towards outside once again. Shoxy ready and waiting. They'll deploy the smokes, but we'll see if we can get anything more done here. Kenny S looking towards the secret area. Shox will be sending MBK to the steps themselves. Looks towards Silo. It's a long angle for him to hold, especially with the AK-47. There's one, spots another as well. He should be done here, but he knows they've got pistols. He's got a decent chance for a duel. Gets a couple, falls back, should be the round in the bag.
6 rounds in a row for G2 as Astralis led 10-5 at half. They've full control and done so rather convincingly as well. It's not like Astralis has even got many kills on the board so far in this half. Shox still on the AUG. Apex with 1 smoke gets easy work of a player desperately jumping toward Secret. That's Device. Kirby makes up for it, but there's Shox.
Doing it again. Not missing a beat with the AUG.
He's looking for where Xyp9x is going because he knew he was committed, but he's gotten behind the smoke. He may actually evade Shox. Unfortunately, he's left in a 1 versus 4. Shox spots. Shox makes no mistake. How many kills is that now with Yogg? 8, maybe?
I think so, yeah. It's up there.
Just to go back to talk about nostalgic gaming, with firearms, it was really cool because the map makers would intentionally leave rooms. I think there was a few maps, like custom maps in CS 1.6 like this, with walls that were you could walk through, and it would lead into this room, like a secret bonus room.
Like
with
an Easter egg.
Yeah, it was an Easter egg, and it would have like all the map makers' names on a sign or like some cool thing.
We still had those in 1.6 especially. We had those in parts of the map where they had like, if you went at CT spawn in Dust 2, if you flew through the walls in no-clip,
you could find it. But in firearms, you could actually get to it while playing.
Yeah.
Like, you could just walk through this wall randomly if you found it and be like, oh, cool. But yeah, you're right. They used to have those in 1.6.
Yeah. We had one on Source Inferno as well. Do you know when you run towards the B-bomb site, if you no-clipped out, there's a cannon, and on the plaque of the cannon, it had like all the map makers' names and stuff.
Pretty
like,
cool. That's cool when they do that stuff.
I don't think we had any CSGO. I know we did. I can't remember which ones.
Probably on some of the customs, for sure.
Well, round of 23. Astralis with pistols in the previous round. Couldn't get anything done. It's G2 looking very good since they've got on the CT side. It was looking a little bit flat for them in the earlier few rounds. It's going to be Device in the AWP this time. A full buy for Astralis, and smoked out for now. It's going to be Device hunting for a kill towards the secret steps there. Round number 23. We are going to go the distance here. Overtime definitely got some potential. But for now, it's looking like G2 are fully in control of this game.
Seems pretty straightforward. Shox. I want to see him use this in a real game now. Got the confidence with it. Not that this isn't a real game. That kind of made it sound bad, but you know what I mean. With more on the line.
It's a different game.
It's definitely a different mentality. Up down from Apex. dupreeh was waiting for it. Good find. That opens up some room upper. Finally, potentially, a chance for Astralis as that's probably the first time they've had the first pick in a while in this half.
Smokes towards outside. Probably going to try some sort of split here. dupreeh holds towards the ramp. Flashes go out. Just to be clear, if the in-game leader goes down secret by himself, a ramp split here. They'll presumably end up at lower, with the majority of their firepower towards the ramp rooms. Flashbangs towards upper as well, just to keep the rotations at this side of the map. And dupreeh is in towards the ramp. No one there. They've pulled a player back from this area at least. Let's see if MBK can hold them off as we hit the 30-second mark.
Okay. A Molotov down. Swings back to decontamination, opens the door, realizes they made it through the vent, and Shox shows us why the Yogg's viable up close as well without the scope. He's found a kill. It might be the first one that he's sprayed down naturally. Died of natural causes. There's still a man down. And he's going to attempt to retake with it. Body getting closer. dupreeh in the backside of the vents can cut off Body's access to control, but he's actually going to watch inside of the site. Instead, Xyp9x will peek. I thought for sure Body was going to win the exchange. But it leaves Shox in a 1 versus 3, and I think he likes this pretty gun too much. Gets the shot, scoped in as well. If he completes a retake in a 1 versus 3 with it, I'll be impressed. He's running very low on time. Swaps over to the CZ instead, which, pick your pick, I suppose. Won't get the kill, gets sprayed down events, and finally Astralis find a terrorist-sided round.
Managed to pull it off. It's Astralis with the opening pick. G2 finally showing some weakness there as we head into a reset potential for Astralis. Need to start converting some rounds in a row here. G2 have got money for days. They'll get a nice full buy here. Does the all come out again? That's the big question here. That's the main storyline for me. And a slash in spawn. Who got it wrecked? It was dupreeh. It's only a left click, so it's okay. Double AWP setup on the CT side of nuke. No org, Shoxy. I'm disappointed.
I'm a bit disappointed as well. But 12-11.
He still has 2 scoped weapons, I guess, so...
That's true. It's all about the optics. You can only have so much glass. Smoke through.
Just about. As the door was closing, it snuck in.
Glaive still trying to find anyone outside. No such luck for Kenny in timing, but they still stay 5 alive aside and not much damage done. dupreeh down to 82. That's about all to report. That is all to report. 58 seconds as well left on the clock, so gone a minute. A hot minute, as you would say.
Yeah.
Inside of the site, finally they wrap around from outside, smokes outside, took away Shox' vision. He's going to try and backstab him from the entrance. He might get there in time. Epix is in the site, but Shox has Dupree. Glaive therefore has to turn and battle against him, which brings Heaven back into the equation, but Epix is isolated by the silo, and he's found a second. This was started as a 1 versus 3, a fast 1 versus 3 from Epix. He's got it down to a 1 versus 1 almost instantly. As Kenny gets closer, Dupree's waiting, knows that he's going to peek from the same side. Rather, excuse me, I say Dupree, Epix, rather.
Little 3-on-1 situation there for Epix. That's not bad, is it? Got really toasty in that Heaven area. MBK didn't really have the time to fall back and retreat like his teammate did at the top of Heaven. He had the phase, got taken down, found the second kill, then Kenny had to rotate all the way through. Fake plant from Epix. Didn't necessarily bait Kenny out, but he definitely had an idea as to where he was heading. And the aim duel, the tactical pause for G2 now. Money starting to be whittled down somewhat. Epix had plenty of clutches this tournament. He was definitely leading the charts in the 1v1 tables.
Device. Just chilling. Well, maybe a little early in the morning for him.
Not the most flattering close-up.
Get it all out of you. Yeah. Shallow yawn. Kenny on the op.
Yeah, plenty of money still. Being depleted though rapidly. 12-12, all tied up again. Well, let's let out half, but it's still anyone's game. A faster play from Glaive, trying to catch anyone crossing over, and it's not going to work out for him. Body out Jules in there as the height advantage. It's taken under 30 HP, but it's a nice early pick. The in-game leader goes down. Squeaky door. That's the hard work done now. Got an early lead. MBK knows he doesn't have to work too hard at the ramp. No reason to stay there by himself. It's ideal just to stay alive. Let him have ramp. That's not a huge deal. You just have to adjust your CT setup. You can get 1 kill and stay alive. That's amazing, but you just need to know when to take the risks and when not to.
Device behind the red crate. Nox will go back all the way to spawn to see if that wraparound effect changes his mind, but he'll play a very passive angle outer. Very passive indeed, doesn't even look towards Secret or the red crate. Device will get closer. And around on top of the catwalk, it's Kiarbi. Shox gets the kill immediately. Dupree pulls it back. He's had better luck with the AUG out there. Dupree just checks Heaven a few times, baits out the ladder play. And Body on the ground will wait for his arrival, but turns away. Dupree not quite able to spot him, though. Now has to retake the same position and get the angle. Nearly walks himself into the crosshair of Body, but makes good work of it. And it's down to just NBK. Astralis have picked up their socks.
Pulled up their socks, maybe?
Pulled up their socks. They might have picked them up. They have a messy room.
The floor.
Yeah, they might have a messy room.
Yeah. That's NBK now. Can't really do too much about this. He's been spotted as well. That's a good shot, though. Takes down Epix. They are low HP as well. That's a nice flashbang, and maybe he still has a chance at this. The bomb isn't too far gone for him. It'd be a bit of a mistake now from Astralis to give this one up. Make him touch the bomb first. Try not to give anything away. Buy some time, and Dupree couldn't resist pulling the trigger. Gives away his position. Does some damage, but it might not be enough. Getting peppered down there, but he's doing a very good job of staying alive. I think he's done just about enough there. Device can now even die, and he'll be absolutely fine. Here he comes.
Have you ever seen anyone so jubilantly run toward their own death?
Yeah, I'm coming. Making a lot of noise, telling him what's happening.
Well, either way, they pick up the rounds. And they take back the lead in doing so, whittling down G2's economy in the process. It's the AUG. You need more AUG. Let me ask you this about the viability of the AUG. If it was the same price as the M4, would you buy it then?
I think you would see a lot more of it. I think that's the only way to like properly bring it into the game. It's the same price, it's an option with the M4s. Like that's kind of sick. Maybe it'd be chosen just as much. I'm not sure.
I guess the reason I ask it is save money.
So I think it's 3,700, so it is a quite considerably more.
Well, I guess that's the point I was saying. Money no object. Is it more viable? Like, is it the gun itself or is it the price?
No, I still think it's a choice, but the choices right now is dictated by the price. So still people that prefer the M4, but some would so it's situational. We should probably get back into this. It's starting to heat up. It's going to be Astralis with 3 quick kills at the start of this round. MBK in a 4 versus 1. I was starting to build up the possibility of him winning it, but maybe he's got something to work with it. As unfortunately he does get taken down, it will be Zipex to find out final shot and add another round to the table. 14-12 now is the scoreline, as Astralis did pick up their socks, put them on, and pulled them up.
Put them on inside out, but still working.
Yeah.
No more cold feet as they take sites with authority now.
I'm sure the Red Sox as well.
It's 3,300. Everyone's spamming in chat, but the thing is, you wouldn't know that because no one buys it.
Are you sure?
I think it did get adjusted like 2 years ago. Everyone's spamming it. I don't know. Chat's not a real person, so they could be lying.
Just to know, it's not a gun in the game. I haven't really followed that. Maybe I'm almost certain it's 37.
I mean, that's the other problem is like if it were the same price, it would take time for people to get used to it because no one really is comfortable with it. Whereas everyone knows how an AK and an M4 reacts. Nade is decent. Dupree's even like, God damn, right in the kneecaps. Used to be an adventurer like you. As Device will get to Secret at the very least. Not many weapons on the G2 side, but the early damage on Dupree, that helps. Kenny drops down, trying to stay alive and stay efficient toward the ramp room as Dupree gets inside and watches Turnpike on the wide side of a smoke. Good find, therefore, by Device. Not sure that he's aware that Vent is occupied, though, by NBK, so we'll see if he can take anything back before ground is lost. Kiabi takes out Kenny. Ramp open as well. This will be a lower take quite clearly at this point, as NBK does at least get Kiabi. Door open, however, gives Zipex a chance to catch off MBK, and does so with good success.
The auto shotgun is out and about. Device has got it in hand. Could actually find a kill with it. This is for map point. Astralis could find the kill with the auto shotgun here. They do indeed. 2 for Device, and looking to finish things off as well. Why not? Oof, it's scary. It's coming. He's going to send Shocks packing, but not for long. The auto shotgun himself wants to use it. Doesn't pick up the AK on the floor. Doesn't got any time to waste. He can't win the round at this point. He'll be falling back. Let's find the AK in the end, and there it is. Map point. I believe that was the force buy. I'm not 100% sure of the money here. Or Shoxy. So we'll try and stay alive here. It'll be absolutely fine.
Terrorists win, Henry.
Dude.
Those terrorists being Astralis, who now have the lead back. 10-5, they lost it. They went down to 12-10. Now they sit quite close to the end of this map. Map point 15-12. Money at least back up for G2. Shotgun for Apex, so not the best of money. Tomas for body. Dupree gonna go back over toward ramp. Smooth mouth movements, maybe. He might. Don't know, I've never kissed him. Mouse movements. Shocks takes down Device outside. That'll at least start things off well for G2's Glaive. He's also curious as to whether or not he should repeat Shocks or just wait to see what happens toward ramp. Ramp open, so now it's more about ramp than it is about Secret, and Glaive has time to wiggle and work. As Kenny tries to get back up on Heaven just to be sure they'll be ready on the retake. He can peek out and also watch Glaive's cross, so too can Shocks. But if Glaive waits and they want to rotate that direction, he's certainly positioned accordingly.
Fighting back now, G2. I'd say the advantage right now is Dupree's HP. You haven't really got a ton of map control. The bomb's still down at spawn as well. Comes down to this frag, which will go in Shoxy's favor. Executes Glaive. It's now the 4-on-3. Got one player towards the silo position. That's going to be Kiabi. Not really much he can do about that. Has to pick up the bomb as the only player really close to it. We have got ramp control though. Dupree just holding in the back. Things to see if anyone will give an opportunity there at the ramp itself. Looking towards Heaven as well, but it's going to be Apex. The auto shotgun, that keeps coming out. Holding towards the window room and lower. We'll head towards the lower ones. They've still got 3 smokes. They can smoke in front of the doors, go for the plant, or smoke on the side itself and plant within the smoke. The opening pig. They currently have the disadvantage and only 25 seconds remaining now.
Apex, good find. Takes down Dupree. Shotgun, good effect. Tries to go for more. Kiabi looking at him through the doorway with an AK-47, wins out the duel unsurprisingly. And Zipex tries to get forward against Shocks. Good find, and a better find from Kenny. Retake successful, game still alive, 15-13. I think we might have overtime.
I think we probably do. Bomb goes down. This one's come out.
You want to call them that? Fist taps, maybe?
Yeah.
play for in map number 1. Kirby looking rather quiet himself. Haven't seen hand warmers in a while.
Yeah, they kind of dropped off, haven't they? Gone out of fashion.
Apparently so. Here we go again. Excuse me, the equivalent of the FAMAS, the Galil for device. AK is picked up, carried over. UMP for MBK. Their money strengthened with the AWP on Kenny as well. Nades go through to Hut. Interesting little boost to see if anyone wants to get aggressive. Apex instead will be on top. Shock's window tries to find the shot on Dupree and gets it. Patience in the taps.
Bit of a crowd pleaser, that one.
And Kenny watches outside in the absence of Shock's presence toward the big garage. As he rotates around now from Secret, Kenny can be dynamic and go off toward ramp or heaven, or wherever he'd like, really.
13 and 3.
Zipix still trying to find someone through the smoke. Timing. I think a few people enjoyed that. Kirby gets in behind the box, and they're going to save. Well, 37 seconds, save.
The money's going to be wrecked next round.
Well, they're going to, exactly. They want to play to win this. Did you think we'd get overtime today, Hank?
I thought it was definitely a possibility. I didn't think, considering the way I thought the game going.
Yeah, I think that's more the point I was trying to say.
Seemed like Astralis, the first half especially, had full control of the situation. You have come out swinging in the second half. A couple of rounds going in Astralis' favor. They have found points. They've guaranteed overtime, but money are going to be desperate. So it's a difficult choice to try and save, but Apex knows he can maybe cause some chaos here if he runs all the way towards T1. One kill would be damaging. Not for that. Not in that manner. He got one, I should say. Okay.
Get the bumps. Well, this is it. Overtime or done. Three AKs were saved. And 2 CZ-75s with armor. Smoke as well for Dupree. Gap. Kenny couldn't see it. They went around the wide side of the red box. So they bypass him and get behind the smoke at the red crate. They want to try and get pistols in positions early. As Shocks continues to try and watch off inside a hut. Crouches under the window and he'll cover Secret. It's a pretty standard default rotation from Shocks. Dave didn't actually get that far with the pistol. Perhaps not as enthusiastic to get towards Secret as I expected. It's an M4 sprays through the radio room. It spams the garage behind, or the trophy wall behind, the cabinet. Good word, that, cabinet.
Yeah. 1 minute. We have had some successes from Astralis in the sense of got outside control. But Shoxy holding the pixel angle, as you can see, as soon as he spots one, and then drop the smoke. Not the best smoke there. I think that went a little bit.
Yeah, bounced further than you wanted.
Yeah, then it couldn't have gone any worse actually. So they can actually get through that quite easily. We'll let players get past, and he'll get the frag though. But Device gets the trade,
which is what they wanted, because Glaive only had the pistol. Fair enough, they might have wanted Glaive not to go down at all, but
yeah, but it's
they
still
were
that's fine.
expecting it.
Bring it to 4-4, get rid of one of those pistols. And one of their players. That's fine. Didn't lose any damage.
Apex waits behind the vented upper. Dupree will now start to pressure with Zipix toward the ramp. Surprisingly, he doesn't go first on the pistol, but Kenny,
lucky.
A leg shot towards Zipix. BK, meanwhile, already rotates down. He's in behind the dark spot. They don't know he's there. Jump down. Kiarbi just barely hits the shot, but your right time is low. They're not on it. Oh, did Kiarbi get there in time? I think he did. Dupree's got to cover from vents. They managed just barely to get the plant in, but it's a 3 versus 2 on the retake, and now it's just Zipix. He's very low. He's in the corner. He's in the open, but he's got Kenny down. He's got to do a one-on-one. The problem is he doesn't know where Body is. He's still low on HP, and as the smoke dissolves, he actually finds it. Zipix, his second 1v3 in the game, and this one to close it.
That was beautiful from Zipix. How has he managed to pull that one off? He seems to clutch every single time. Frantic plant at the end there. I think there was a 10 HP planter as the bomb goes down in the smoke. It seemed like G2 had done everything, 3 versus 1. He hits the first couple of shots, uses that smoke to his advantage, pulls out the CZ of all weapons. It takes a few seconds to pull it out, and they can't believe it. He's actually pulled it off, and they avoid overtime. What a magnificent way to finish that map. A little bit chaotic at times, a little bit strange in terms of the approach. We saw the Orgs, the auto snipers, the aggressive CT side from Astralis, even the red shoes of Device. It was a strange day, but they come out on top.
Strange day indeed. Strange game. The AUG outside, knives inside events. Device looking like a jack-in-the-box going up and down on the ladder for quite some time. But in the end, Astralis actually pull it back. And I am impressed with Xyp9x in that clutch.
That was nuts. You always think there's always a chance this guy falls. No, definitely not this one. He's only got 10 HP. They know exactly where he is. He's got no chance.
Switches to the CZ as well because he's out of ammo in his rifle.
And
smoke dissolving.
Body had a very quiet game there, just to know. He's only got 10 kills, I think, towards the end. So he was in the 1v1. He couldn't find that one shot, but the smoke he used to perfection there. I would love to see that from Body's POV. See how truly difficult that was, whether he did see him or missed the shot completely. But there we have it. That's the first map of this third place playoff. It's the first of our matchups today. We have got a best of 5 final coming up, so that's what we're kind of. This is like the show match almost, right? So it's kind of
it is
warming
a bit
everyone
like
up,
that. Yeah,
getting everyone kind of feeling some time.
This makes me look like I'm balding. It looks like I'm covered.